Hi, good day, and welcome to another edition of Sports Check here on Ghana Web TV. My name is Daniel Odro. Today, I bring you another exciting guest, a man who has been a constant in the life of his son, who has now become a world champion. Today, we explore the story of Paul Dogboe, the father of Isaac Royal Storm Dogboe, and the sacrifices he's had to make as a father to become a trainer of his son, who is now taking the world by storm. When we return from this break, we'll listen to the story of Paul Dogboe and how the journey to grooming a world champion began for him. Welcome back from the break. Today, my guest is Paul Dogboe, the father of the new WBO Super Bantamweight champion, Isaac Royal Storm Dogboe. We've heard all the stories about how his father has been the backbone of his career. Today we explore that story further and ask his father what sacrifices he had to make to groom his son to become a world champion. So Dogboe, you're welcome to the show.
Hi.
You are the senior Dogboe.
No, I have other senior Dogboes,
okay.
Behind the scenes that you're not seeing. I'm just here to, make things happen.
You are the father of a world champion. That must make you feel great.
Well, because I was involved, from day one,
Yeah.
so I think it comes with the job. It's just another job I took up. So it doesn't really make me feel, do you understand?
Yeah.
I just think it's the job. It just comes with the job.
Are you a trained boxing coach? Did you acquire any skills, or this is something you just took up to do?
Actually, I would say I am a trained boxing coach.
Okay.
Because I had a pro arm license in England.
Okay.
I went through the amateur training coaches course, and then I went through the professional training course. I worked under other great people like Jesse Reed, that's a Hall of Famer, Body Miguel, and I'll say Mickey Cannon, the Fitzroy Lodge, So, I would say, but when I took the boxing up in the beginning, okay, let me start from where I was in Ghana. I used to roll with Bukom Fire.
Okay.
He was living in Awudome here, so always I would go with him to Bukom. He took me to Bukom, when I was little. When I was in Labone Secondary School, so I always used to go to Bukom, just sit down and watch Bukom Fire train, James Armour. And then I used to help all the young boxers around Bukom Fire, likes of Malik Jabel and then Lai, and other guys, and then the whole community. Some people in the community, I used to help them out, pay their hospital bills and all them things. So it's like a normal, charity work I used to do for the community, But I never thought I would put my son into boxing, But then along the line somewhere, I just had a vision, that no, Azuma Nelson, used to come to my grandfather over, and I see that kept coming to my mind like a visitation that always comes to me in my dreams, why does Azuma Nelson always come to Wovonu?
Okay.
And Wovonu's bloodline is us. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Even though Wovonu, he still lives, but then even though God has called him, I believe that anything I do, with his flag, my grandfather's flag, and call his name, I believe wherever he is, he'll be looking over my son. So this is it. So what I'm saying, you can see like the goose pimples, that is just the belief, So when I took up the boxing, I told my son, listen, there's two things. Yes, I don't see you go down. One, you have the Supremo with you. That is the creator of heaven and earth. If really the God that created heaven and earth, he's the one that speaks to Wovonu, then I don't think that what we are doing is wrong. But I told him, even though God don't like boxing, two men hitting themselves, like I said to him, God don't like boxing, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think God likes boxing. But, you know, he favors, you know, his own.
Yeah.
So let's go and see. And even along the line, when Isaac won his 2 championships, like the amateur championships, 2 amateur championships, and he went to the Olympics, I met a man of God called Prophet Owuru. I don't know if you've heard of his name.
No.
Prophet Owuru is a man of God that I met in England. And I done a close protection when he came to England. He's from Kenya.
Okay.
Prophet Owuru, and then he said to me, no, don't let your son do boxing. Yeah. So what we done is I came home and I threw all Isaac's boxing things away.
Really?
I threw everything because all my kids were boxing. I take them to the gym every day. You know, they go to from school. We go to the gym every day. So then, about 2 months, oh my God! It's like I kept dreaming. You know, I see something is missing in my life. You know. Then I called my son back. Let's pray. So we're praying over that, and we told God, favor us, like, you know, we know your purpose and we shouldn't do it, but we beg you. So we done that too as well, and then we started again.
Okay.
So from that point, I believe I used to call my grandfather's successor, that's Prophet Uglehu, and then he done a ceremony for Isaac. You know, a special prayer, and before we started professional boxing.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a secret, I'm telling you, it's not a secret anymore. I mean, the kid's life has been great so far. We take the stress, not him. So I try to let him not see the stress. You know, so
he just has to train and...
Yeah, so most of the time, my son thinks that everything is sweet. You get me?
Yeah.
But we, like me, take the stress. You see, so it's like sometimes I feel even my wife, to a point when my wife and I had problems, you know, how, you know, you're taking money all the time, you are taking money from the account, every time it's only Isaac, you know, do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Yeah. That is also something that, you know, it's like she didn't see the vision, but I saw the vision. Yeah. You know, so, and then my other kids too, then like, they were sweet, like they were always coming to the gym with Isaac. That's my 10 years old now and my 12 years old. Now, she can, you know, call me a prophet, call me a visionary.
And see that you saw the vision and she didn't see it.
This is it. And then now she's happy. She's been calling me, telling me how, oh, Bob Aaron said, oh my God, you are a visionary, you are a prophet. She calls me, telling me all that. Oh, they said ESPN said Isaac is going to become the first pay-per-view star ever to come out of Africa. Yeah. Bob Aaron said this is what we'll want. This Bob Aaron, you know, top rank. Yes. Oh, this is what we want. This is the face we want in boxing. The kid is good. He can talk and he can back it up. He's strong. Yeah.
Can walk the talk.
There are things that maybe I'll dream about, and then I'll tell my son, this is what I've seen, and then we write it down, and it just happens. Even before the Olympics, I never knew he could go to the Olympics at that young age. Yeah. It's something that I just said to Isaac. Give me 5 years of your life, you go to the 2012 Olympics. When it was 2011, I was telling him, hey, Charlie, so how, this Olympics thing,
were you getting doubt yourself?
No, I don't get doubt, but I mean, I'll be speaking against what I said. I do that all the time. And I tell him, hey, Charlie, so right now, even before he fights, I call him and say, hey, Charlie, Isaac, right now, you know, if you lose, right now, daddy's in trouble, you know. I do tell him all this is like, just against the things that I'm doing. It's very important for the kid to know. You know, this is psychology, you know. You, and then you getting him mentally, let's say, aware of his surroundings, you know. It's very important to make somebody aware of his surroundings, and then he knows what we are in.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So telling him all these things when he's going into a fight, he would like, sometimes like 3 days before he fights, you see that I'm in a zone. I don't talk to nobody. You see me crying constantly. He comes and tap my back. Daddy, why are you crying? You see the whole thing. So we get into those zones.
Yeah.
When you see Isaac's career, anytime we have a fight, he goes into confinement, you know, for 3 days, sometimes 7 days. The last fight he went into confinement for 7 days.
Wow.
With the Prophet Dogboe, you know, and then the Prophet predicted the knockout.
Wow.
This is the secret. You know, the Prophet predicted the knockout. And then I told the Prophet, I want to bet. I want to bet, yeah? And I use the money to clear up the bill.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Prophet said, don't bet. he said to me, don't bet. You know, so I mean, I couldn't bet. You know,
Wow.
you have to listen.
Yeah. Wow.
So
That's an
secret.
amazing story.
This is the secret.
The other bit I want to explore is your time in the military. Did you leave the military to just focus on your son, or were you in the military in the States or in London?
In the UK.
In the UK.
Yeah, the TN Army.
Okay.
But what happened was they used to give me a lot of time for my son.
Okay.
Because I moved my son from Fitzroy Lodge to the TN Army Boxing Club. So Isaac Dogboe won one junior novice for TN Army Boxing Club, the first person to win a title for the TN Army Boxing Club. And then he won the senior novice again after the Olympics for the TN Army Boxing Club again when he was about 19 years. Yeah, and then, but then since his boxing career, they will release me. I always get a release letter to take him round. Because the captain Andy Hens used to be my immediate person I used to always report to, because he was the head of the TN Army Boxing Club. So he loves Isaac, man. He used to give us every time, you know. So my time when 2016.
Only 2 years ago.
That's when I came out of it. So, but then since then, till then, they've been giving me releases. They release me. I go with my son and that, because they also follow my son. Follow Isaac progress, and they done a lot for Isaac. You know, talking about equipment. You know, I just have to call it and it's there. You know, most of the things you see in here is the Captain Andy Hens.
Are you using your military background to overly put pressure on him? Is your military background giving him the obey before complain, the strictness?
I'm a soft guy.
So finally, we want to, I mean, I watched the last but one fight against Juarez, and after the fight, there was a lot of talk about the financial burden of staging the fight in Africa, in Ghana, etc. And Isaac has always spoken about the financial stress that his career has put on your finances. Now that he's a world champion, is all that about to change? Are you about to become the son of a millionaire boxer in the next few years?
You know, even when he wasn't even, you know, all the fights we've staged till now, he never got paid. Because we don't pay him. We pay the opponents. You know, all the fights we had in Ghana, Isaac never got paid. We pay the opponents. Do you understand? Or you don't get me?
I get it.
So, Shakon fight, after we were depending on some key people to sponsor the Shakon fight, and then it didn't happen. Oh my God. As if, you know, they were telling me that, oh yeah, they're going to do it, they're going to do it, they're going to do it. But I think I'll say my marketing person was telling me, oh, they're going to do it, they're going to do it. And then a day before the fight, oh my God, nothing was done. Shakon was in town. We paid for about 5 people's tickets all over the world to come. We paid for their hotel, everything. We paid for the show. The show is on.
Wow.
Now the $30-something to pay Shakon wasn't here. Then I went to Papa J. And I said to Papa J, our ex-president, Jerry Rawlings, and I said to him, Papa, I'm messed up, you know. the Chacon fight, we have to pay the opponent $35,000. How are we gonna do it? Hey. So then Papa J, I think, sent somebody to take us to the president. That's Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo. So we went there, and then Nana Akufo-Addo paid for the Chacon fight, and then paid for the ticket for the guys.
Wow.
Yeah, he paid, and then oh my God, that was like a relief. So, you know, and then that was how the Chacon fight came about.
Yeah.
The president of the Ghana Boxing Authority knew about. Everybody knows about it. It's something all the boxing fraternity they knew. You know, and that was how the Chacon fight came about.
Wow, that was close, you know.
That was close, but I still had hope. Hope beyond human imagination. And now, after we beat Chacon, we had to fight somebody else. We thought we were fighting Jesse Magdaleno straight. Now, Magdaleno and Cesar Juarez, they had to fight, and we fight the winner. And now Magdaleno said he's hurt.
Yeah, injury,
so now we have to fight Chacon. Cesar Juarez.
Right.
And now Juarez, when we bid for Juarez, they said they're going to give us. Now we had to bid for the fight. So either we fight in Mexico, or we come and fight in Ghana. So we had to bid to fight in Ghana, 117,000.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Well, it's not a lot of money now because we are the world champion.
Yeah.
You see, the whole thing is worth it. You know, so where can I get 170? And they gave me 72 hours to pay the money.
3 days.
Yeah. In trust for the Chacon team, because they didn't know we the Africans
They can't trust you.
we can pay that kind of money and have the fight. Normally it's the other way around. You know, we move from here and go and earn those monies outside. But like the president himself also said, you know, you have to change the mindset of you know, change our mindset, you know, like, you know, and of you know, people thinking that always we have to go out there for greener pastures. For us, in our case, we don't believe in that. 2 days before the time, it wasn't paid.
Yeah.
And I was like, my son, then I'll go and I say, so how can this be paid? But then I'll tell my son, it will be paid. I keep telling Isaac, don't worry, it will be paid. Then a day before the time, still the money wasn't paid. Hey! So I went to my cousin, Ellis, Koshigan, and I said, Ellis, Charlie, this was happening. Then Ellis spoke to his friend. And then the friend said, oh, okay, I'll wire the money to the people. Wow, that, just like that. And then he wired the money, 117. Bam, the WBO received the money, they sent me a text. Wow. It's on. That's what he said. Paul, the president of the WBO said, Paul, it's on. The fight is on. We're coming to Ghana. Wow. Wicked. I just said, glory be to God. That's it. And then, again, people and Chacon, Cesar Juarez thought he was going to come down to Ghana here and destroy Isaac. The whole world thought he was going to destroy us. But one thing people don't understand here, Isaac is more powerful than people think. When he was sparring Carl Frampton, and then Leo Santa Cruz used to come to me and tell me, your son is strong. His body shots are strong. That was a world champion. Carl Frampton the same. Carl Frampton respects my son and all the guys that we've sparred. So when we came to Ghana, I told Isaac, stop knocking people out. When you keep knocking people out, you're not going to get the world championship. Yeah. So we come in for you. All the champions in the weight divisions, we come in for you.
Wow.
I used to tell my son, do not show that you are powerful that much. So let's go pam pam, let's go fight, pam. Once in a while, you get hit a little bit, but don't get hit bad. See, if you want to catch a fish, you put a hook. Another fish there, you put it in, and then you catch a bigger fish, right?
That's true.
That was how, it was something that was planned and calculated. Now he's a world champion, I can tell you my secret. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I knew that my son was powerful. The only thing listen, the only way is to avoid it when you are fighting it. But when he contacts you, it's like an electric shock. Wow. It's like, I'm telling you, this is, see, so it's something that we planned that he should not be like go in there, pam, pam, knock people out. No, don't do it. So let the people think you can't box. Even the Shakon fight, he fought like somebody that couldn't even fight. Now Cesar Juarez watched the last fight, thinking that, oh, this guy, I'm going to come and just overrun him. We layered him into the trap, and he came and he got what? Knocked out. And then the whole Ghana people were commentating and saying, oh, how Isaac Dogboe was fighting Cesar Juarez in the first round. That's not how to fight a Mexican. Do you know how to fight a Mexican? Are you God? Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? We had a game plan going into the Cesar Juarez's fight, and we made it.
Wow.
This is pretty straightforward.
You've been a very solid rock behind your son, and hopefully he's going to reign for a very long time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time here on Sports Check. We've been speaking with the father of Isaac Dogboe. His name is Paul Dogboe. He's been a constant in the life of Isaac Dogboe. He's his trainer, and a recent report that he was going to step aside, but that has been cleared up, and he's going to continue coaching our world champion. We're back same time next week with another edition of the show. Until then, keep well.